Parapsychology Today, a program of investigation into the realms of the unknown. Suspend your mind for a moment and journey to a world beyond the five senses. Parapsychology Today is a program exploring ideas, theories, and concepts that have been around since ancient times. We'll journey to outer worlds and inner worlds. We'll look into such phenomena as past lives, UFOs, and hauntings. And we'll explore psychic ability as it relates to human potential. We do not intend to prove or persuade, but rather present theories and personal stories of ventures into the world of parapsychology. Whatever your beliefs, we hope this program will start you thinking about a reality beyond the five senses.
Hi, welcome to another edition of Parapsychology Today. I'm your host, Pauline Nortness. We have a really fascinating show for you today. Do you believe in ghosts? Well, my guest today, Breannan, beautiful name, hard time saying it. Breannan is she's a ghostologist. You're also a psychic medium.
Yes.
She's going to tell us about her experiences with ghosts and how she clears them. So welcome to the show. This is really exciting.
Well, thank you for having me.
I haven't done a show on ghosts for a long time, so this is going to be interesting. So first tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into this.
I originally grew up in a haunted house, is when I originally started having experiences with ghosts. I did not know that that's what was happening because nobody told me ghosts were real. But I really had my first encounters with ghosts as a child. I eventually figured out that it had been a ghost, and I'd also seen other spirits by the time I was 17 or 18. And so I was gathering this information and these experiences and trying to figure them out. Because again, I wasn't brought up with any sort of religious, spiritual context growing up. And I ended up studying the near-death experience, where a research team, including myself, interviewed over 100 people, and it's actually been published, the near-death experience, the Evergreen study. And I started expanding on my own psychic abilities, and I found that I have a special talent for tuning into ghosts and getting information about who they are and why they're here. And then I started reading a lot of the old books from the Paranormal Society. I won't go on with the authors. There's many of them that are fabulous that taught me about spirits and about seances and just learned more about that whole realm. And I took a course at the Temple of Kriya Yoga where I learned about the human spirit. I also worked a little bit in hospice and things like this. But I should not forget to mention that I've also been able to have the great fortune of working with absolute world-class psychics who have helped me kind of fill in the blanks. Because as you know, I ended up writing a book, and it's still very mysterious, a lot of it to me. But I was able to fill in some of the blanks that I needed to by working with psychic mediums that I trusted.
I'm curious now, when you said you grew up, how old were you when you felt or saw this ghost, and what did the ghost look like?
I was 5 years old when I moved in. I don't remember exactly when the first encounter was, but this was an older woman. She was absolutely lovely, really. She was not an agitated ghost. She was very nurturing. She was almost grandmotherly. She was, I mean, if you want to know what she looked like, she was about 5'2". She tended to have a nice smile on her face. She used to do very nurturing things to me. She would like pet my hair at night in particular. She would whisper in my ear.
It didn't scare you?
It did not scare me because nobody taught me to be scared of a ghost, and I was taught ghosts didn't exist.
But did you wonder what she was? I mean, you were 5 years old. Did you wonder who this person was?
I did and I didn't. I was so accustomed to strange things happening and not questioning it because she never bothered me. And you know, it sounds odd now looking back. You'd think I'd go running to my parents and that just didn't happen. She did knock things off my shelves at night. I never associated that with her. And I didn't feel that she was doing it in anger, because one of the things that ghosts can do is inadvertently haunt. If their energy is running very high for whatever reason, they can accidentally create movement in a room, or they can direct the energy. And oftentimes when ghosts are angry, it can be directed or not directed. I don't believe she was necessarily angry. I think she just had a lot of energy that she was carrying at the time. It was sloughing off of her, and things would happen around.
So how can we describe it? What is a ghost? Because they're different, right? Just like people, there are different ghosts.
Oh yeah, ghosts are a part of the human spirit that does not complete the transition into death and into what's next. When we die, I think people are often surprised to hear this, and I'm not sure exactly why. When we die, we are exactly as we were before we died. In personality,
Okay.
in belief system, in values, in our religiosity, in our spirituality, we are as we were when we die. So there's no great merging with super consciousness, with no instant spiritual growth. That comes later. It doesn't happen during the transition. And so
they're earthbound?
they're earthbound ghosts. Ghosts are earthbound. That defines what they are. The biggest problem for ghosts, and the thing that makes them different than any other spirit, is that they're stuck here. If they're not stuck here, then they're free ghosts. They can go back and forth. They're a spirit. And they can go into other dimensions, and they can visit here. A ghost is stuck, and that's what makes them different, and that's what makes it a tragedy. And that's why I had decided, after being involved with ghost hunting groups for a while, to help them.
It's really sad. It could be maybe if they're in an accident and they don't realize, they were dead, or it could be a man, a soldier in a battlefield where he's instantly killed and he doesn't realize he's dead yet.
Yeah.
So these ghosts don't actually realize they're gone.
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. With tragic deaths, those are the types of deaths that tend to produce the most ghosts. Because a lot of it has to do with lack of preparation to die. And the reason that I say that is because the thing that causes ghosts to happen is they don't finish the transition. And they choose not to. And their choice not to finish the transition is what makes me say they're not prepared. And the reason that they tend to choose not to has to do, at least in my work, with basically 3 different categories. They find themselves either aware that they've died or not, and being afraid. They're like, oh my goodness, I did not go to church enough, or I didn't get my last rites read, or I just didn't lead a good life, and I don't know what's waiting for me, and I'm afraid I'm going to stay where it's familiar. I'm going to stay right here. Or they're confused. Perhaps they, because they are who they are now as they were. Perhaps they never believed in life after death. Maybe they never thought that astral projection was real. There's nothing in their consciousness that leads them to believe that what they're experiencing is possible. And so they stick around, they stay with what's familiar. This is my environment. And I find that they often believe, because they have to fill in the blanks, I must be in a dream, some sort of strange dream, or I'm in a coma. This must be a coma. Or somebody slipped me something in my drink. And so they try and make sense out of something that is difficult for them. And then the ones that I've worked with the most, just a little bit more than the others, are what I call ghosts in passion. So there's ghosts in fear, there's ghosts in confusion, and there's ghosts in passion. And the ghosts in passion are those who die when it's bad timing. Now again, they may or may not know that they're dead. But if somebody dies the night before their wedding day, they might have a hard time with that. And they're going to try and stick around and figure out how they can make it work. I think that probably, it's just one example, I think probably the type of death of passion that produces ghosts the most, and this is just a guess, would be women who die in childbirth.
Oh, they don't want to leave their child.
They haven't even met their child yet, perhaps. So
Sad.
my assumption is that's one of the big ones for that.
What are some of the things that ghosts can do? I mean, even though they're not physical, can they move things and touch things and throw things? And what can they do?
They can't. It's not exactly like what the movies show us. They're not necessarily very powerful. And the way to think about that is when you think about Reiki, people who use Reiki, where they take their own energy and they can move things, they're moving things by having a physical body and pushing energy through their physical body. Ghosts can do that too, and they can do that without the physical body. So they're a little bit better at Reiki than we are. So they can move things around. I've seen it happen. But the most astonishing thing that I've seen them move actually happened to me. It was Halloween night. This was a prankster ghost. This was Halloween night. I was on a podcast. This was 2 years ago, maybe a year ago. And it was midnight. I was the last guest. And at midnight, as we're closing, a 2.5-pound vase fell from behind me and just smashed. And it was really astonishing to me because I did not believe that a ghost could be that strong even for a 2.5-pound vase. But the vase had moved, I found, most likely, to the corner of the shelf. It had been there for about 5 years untouched. But I noticed at the front door, as it slammed, it just the most slightest would move. So I figure it must have gone to the edge to allow that ghost to be able to have the Reiki energy, we'll call it, to actually knock it down.
Wow.
So, but picking up bricks like I've seen on TV, if that's happening, it's not a ghost.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, some of the things they portray in the movies, they're pretty much...
Dragging people by ankles, that's not a ghost.
Okay. So
It's something else.
Yeah. So are there good ghosts, middle ghosts, and bad ghosts? I mean...
If they were good, middle, and bad in life, they'll be the same in death.
Oh, gee. Okay, so they're earthbound because you said the reasons why. Some don't want.
Stuck.
Yeah, they're stuck. What are some of the things that ghosts actually can do, or that?
They can move things. They can pull hair. They can poke. They can mostly what they can do is scare us just by their presence. They can bite a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, pinch, scratch.
To get your attention?
Oftentimes it's to get your attention or to scare you.
What do they need, and how do they? That's how they communicate.
Yeah.
Why can some people like you see them and some people can't?
Because we're psychic.
Oh, you're
We're
psychic
sensitive
medium.
to those. We're sensitive
Yeah.
to those energies. Yeah.
Now, maybe some people, maybe like me, could feel it, but I wouldn't see it. Yeah.
Yes. There's different type of psychics. Yeah.
What's the best way to communicate with these ghosts?
Just talk to them.
And how can we help them?
Well, what I do is, I have a whole process. In fact, I'm writing a book on that as well, clearing them. The reason that they're stuck is what's the most important thing to address to help them. And the reason that they're stuck is because after approximately 3 days of being deceased, if you do not move through the 5 stages, which are, the first stage is you feel a sense of peace. The second stage is second stage is you leave the body, and many report seeing their own body. The third stage is a tunnel presents itself.
When you see your body, like a lot of people had near-death experiences and actually have left their body, they've seen it. Yes,
They've witnessed it. They've seen
Yes.
the commotion around the body.
Yeah.
Then a tunnel will present itself, which is the segue from one world to the next world. And at the end of the tunnel is a light. That's the 4th stage, and that's the destination. And then the 5th stage is called the inner setting. That's your new home. What happens after 3 days, if you don't go through that process, is you lose the ability to see it and to perceive it. And you don't see the tunnel, you don't see the light, you don't see the segue home. And the biggest problem is you also don't see those who are there to assist you, because they are always there. Nobody dies alone. There's always somebody on the other side, usually several, that are there to assist you.
I remember a story my mother told me. My grandfather, his brother, he said to his brother, "I'm coming, Will," because his brother died before he did. And when my grandfather was dying, he says, "I'm coming, Will." So he must have seen his brother waiting for him. Yeah.
You hear that a lot. I see angels, or you know, the last words are.
Yeah. I think people that die, like they're sick or they're home and their family's around them, and they say, "Remember, my mother left. My sister said, we're all okay, you can leave now."
Yes.
I think that helps people transition.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Now, how has technology helped to communicate with ghosts, or has it?
Not in my work. I know it's been helpful to find evidence of them.
Oh, really?
So we get audio tapes
Oh
and things
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So now you're a ghostologist. You go out there and you can feel the energy, but
Mm-hmm.
do you take somebody with you that has an instrument that can pick up the energy?
I take a, yes, it's called an electronic field meter, I believe it is. It's what electricians use.
Yeah.
And with the absence of any electricity in the area, no cell phone, no
Right.
outlets,
Mhm.
if there's activity, you have to wonder what's there. And I use that, and I also use a tape recorder to see if I can get a voice.
Sometimes you get a voice. That's
Mhm.
amazing.
Yeah.
Now, are there some places that are more likely to have ghosts than other places, like older homes or places where people have died?
Places where people have had tragic sudden deaths.
Oh, sudden deaths. More
Yes.
sudden death. Not easy deaths where they.
Not
use-
expected
Yeah,
deaths.
not-
Yeah,
okay.
that tends to be, and especially when it's in mass.
When it's what?
When it's in mass, when there's a lot of people that die suddenly.
Oh, really?
Hmm. Yeah.
Are animals more sensitive to ghosts, and why?
My cat is. There's some that are, some that aren't. They're much like us.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I thought
they're
all
much like
animals
us.
were sensitive. No.
Well, they won't deny what they see. They'll
Uh-huh.
respond to it. But they have senses just like we do,
Mm-hmm.
and that includes a sixth sense. And some people, some animals, just
Oh.
like us, it's turned on.
Yeah.
Some it's less turned
Oh,
on.
I never thought of that. I just thought
So-
all animals were sensitive. Now, sometimes people will say they'll walk into an area and it's really cold.
Mhm.
Is that sometimes, why is it cold? Is that involved with ghosts, and why?
It is, but not all ghosts are always cold. It's very interesting because I've been around a lot of ghosts and I didn't feel the cold of a ghost until about 4 years ago when I walked into a house that I just purchased. This is kind of a funny story. I walked into a house that I had purchased and I'm working on it and I'm like, why is it freezing cold in this room? Who left the door open? Who left the window open? And then I thought, but it's June, so it shouldn't be cold anyway.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, aha. And then I started getting this information that there was a man and a woman, both young. They died in the house. They definitely wanted my help. And one died of an overdose. Well, I thought both of them died of an overdose, but I thought one died of a heart problem, sort of related to drugs. And I called the person who sold it to me because she happened to be a friend of mine. And I said, Crystal, why didn't you tell me this house is haunted?
Yeah.
And she said, because then nobody would have bought it. And so she was fully aware. She even knew the people who died. And but that was the first time that I actually felt it. It's almost like you expect to see your breath. And I haven't really looked into this aspect of ghosts, but I do know that they like colder temperatures. So if you're looking for a ghost, start in the basement or start wherever it's cooler, because they run cold. But what I don't understand is how come we feel it sometimes and how come we don't? Because I've been very close to ghosts that did not feel cold.
And now you led me to another question. Isn't it illegal now to sell a house that you know a ghost has been? You have to now you have to let people know, right?
I don't think in Oregon. There are parts I know out east that do, but I don't know. I don't believe in Oregon.
Oh, I know some. Yeah.
Did somebody tell you that? Because she sure didn't tell me.
No, I just know that I read it somewhere that people now have to let you know that the house is haunted
Yeah,
before you buy it.
there are states that regulate that. Yeah.
Do ghosts stay in certain areas of a house?
They can if they have a favorite place to be or a favorite person they want to be with. They're free to come and go as much as they want.
So do ghosts know? I guess the ones that hang around, they don't know they're dead, right?
Some do, and they're afraid. Like the ones that are fearful, particularly. They're like,
Yeah.
"Uh-oh, I
Right,
know I'm dead,
right.
and this doesn't.
No,
this
yeah.
is not a good look for me."
Yeah, because
You know.
I'm not going to go to heaven.
Yes.
Is it dangerous to engage ghosts? Like,
It can. It's
because
not.
I knew a psychic who once, she said, "You leave my daughter alone," and all of a sudden her furnace or something banged. She said, "Okay."
Yeah, ghosts are not really to be trifled with.
And you can't argue with them or fight with them, or
Yeah, well, they
Us-
can wreak havoc.
some
in your
more
life.
friendly than others. Then some are
Definitely.
friendly. Yeah,
Definitely.
and some are dangerous.
Yeah, they can. Being around a ghost is not good for our health. We'll start
Oh,
there.
really?
Yes, it's not good for our health to be around them. It's not a lucky thing to have a ghost. And the reason is because for them to be animated, for them to have energy, they don't need food.
Oh,
they don't need
they'll
sleep.
take your energy, won't they?
They take our energy, they
Oh
take
my
our
gosh.
animals' energies, and they take energies from electronics, which is why we get all these disturbances when they're around in our
Oh,
electronics.
interesting.
And by draining us, it can cause us to be more vulnerable to sickness.
Now you made I'm going to mention your book. You wrote a book, The Nature of Ghosts. I'll hold it up to this camera. I'll give it a chance. Oh, here. The Nature of Ghosts. Whoops, I always have trouble straightening it up. The Nature of Ghosts. Tell us a little bit about your book.
This was written just because there were so many people who had such interest in the subject that I thought I can't keep this information to myself. I did not go on this endeavor of study planning on writing a book. But at some point I thought people want to hear this, they'd be very interested in it. And so I talk about the 5 stages of death. I talk about the ghosts that I've worked with, the ghosts of passion and the ghosts of fear and etc. And just sort of explain a little bit about my process in working with them and the nature of ghosts, who they are, what they are, and why they're here.
I think this was a great book. I read it. It's not very long. It was very informative. I mean, you don't need, it wasn't full of, you know, fluff. It was perfect. It was one of the best books I've read. I just really loved it. And you told me what the difference is between a ghost and a spirit. I was going to ask you that. And understanding a near-death experience helps us to understand ghosts. Yeah, because people have seen their bodies, but they've come back. I interviewed a woman who left her body, but she came back.
Right.
Yeah.
And the difference between those who come back and those who don't, besides the fact that there's all kinds of orchestration there and here about returning or not returning, has to do with something called the silver cord.
Oh, right.
The cord that connects us when we sleep and we go into the ethers and that brings us back to our body. If that cord is cut, if that cord is severed, you're not coming back. Yeah. Not in the same body anyway.
Very interesting about ghosts. Now, the one thing I wanted to bring up is that, like, there are haunted houses, and you need to help them move on, right? The best thing you can do for these ghosts is to explain to them that they've got to move on.
Yes, and the most important piece is to shift their consciousness so that they can see the segue forward, because that's the reason they're stuck. And so they don't even feel they have the option of moving forward because they don't know it's still there, because they're not seeing it. And so a lot of my work is getting their attention, getting them to listen to me and want to listen to me, which they don't all. I've had real fights on my hands, actually, with some. And to explain to them what's going on without scaring them, because they can literally go into shock if they hear that they've died. So it helps to be intuitive about...
Especially if they're in fear.
Yes, or yes, absolutely. I mean, it would be shocking if they didn't know it, and then you're telling them that, and you might lose their attention. So you got to be careful with that. But sometimes I do tell them, you've died, and here's what you need to do next. Do you see what's there for you? And by introducing that to their consciousness, which is different there than here, they can then see it. It's like an automatic process. If they start entertaining that idea, then they can perceive it. So you're waking that up in them. I
was going to say in your book, I don't know if you told about it in your book, but there was a haunted house, and people were, wanted people to come to the house because it was haunted, it was part of to make money. But that isn't fair to the ghost. You want to, it's not fair. You want that ghost to be released. You want to help them cross over. You want to help them cross over. Yes, and when I started with ghost groups, one of the reasons that I developed a way to clear ghosts is because I realized that we're going out to clients who are uncomfortable with the ghost, and we're trying to show them whether or not we have evidence that they're correct, they have a ghost or not. So we write this beautiful report about what we may have found and say, yes, we think you have a ghost, you're correct, have a good night. Or we say, no, we didn't find any evidence, but that doesn't mean there's not a ghost, it just means we didn't find any evidence, have a good night. Really? And I thought, there's got to be something we can do better for these people and for the ghost. And so then I developed, let's clear the ghost. It'll help the people feel more at home and safe and calm, and the ghosts will be in a better situation. How do you do a clearing? Whether or not that you know that there are ghosts there, how do you do your clearing? Whether I know there's a ghost or not? Right, because you said the people... I don't do it unless I feel there's a ghost. Oh, really? There's ways to clear houses short of working with ghosts that are lovely, that people do a lot. But people will call me, and I clear houses that way. Well, I have an aunt who she lived in a house that or an apartment building, and this little boy kept appearing to her. And she found out that the apartments were built over this property where a house had burned, a little boy had died in the fire. So when she found out the history behind it, when the little boy appeared to her again, she said, no, you have to cross over. And she never did see him again. Good. He just didn't know he had died. Yeah, it's probably easier for children. Yeah, and then when she told him, no, you have to go. Yeah.
Lovely,
Boy,
lovely. So she made him aware that there was somewhere to go.
I don't know. This was a number of years ago. I don't know. You know. And
Possibly just by saying you have to go.
yeah, you have to go.
Something might have
Yeah,
worked.
he never returned.
Yeah.
But, and then I found out from her daughter-in-law that my aunt, and I didn't know this at the time, she did have a lot of experiences that were kind of like that, paranormal. Is there anything else you want to add? And you're available for ghost clearing, right?
Yeah, I'm
And you're-
moving a little more into teaching, but yeah,
Oh, and then what do you teach?
how to do it.
How to do it, how to clear ghosts. All right. So if people have ghosts in their house, it's better to clear them because for the ghost's sake, right?
Mhm, for everybody.
For everybody, for the people that live there, you don't want to live with a ghost because, you know, it's. I
Yeah,
don't
they're
know.
not, they change the energy in a house that takes away the feng shui of it all. It's
Oh,
it's
right.
disruptive. And people have found that when you clear a ghost, things like there's more harmony between the people in the home. You know, there's basically more success in life when ghosts are like a energetic contaminant because they don't belong here.
Also, I was going to interview somebody on energy attachments. Would you call it? Can a ghost be an energy
Yes.
attachment, or are there other things that are energy attachments?
No, they can follow you, they can attach to you, they can try and possess you.
Oh,
That's why I say they're really not something to be trifled with.
they can try to possess you. I mean, actually get in your energy field.
And they, particularly the vulnerable people, are people who are addicted. Because
oh, people that take.
if you die addicted, you still have the drive for your addiction. And if you see somebody else who's addicted, your plan could be, well, if I just borrow her,
Yeah,
I can have what I'm aching for.
Oh, gee. Boy, now you're teaching people how to get rid of their ghosts. That sounds good. Anything
Yeah.
else you want to end with?
Um,
And you're writing another book. Your other book is about,
clearing them, the
Wait.
process for clearing ghosts.
okay. This book, it tells you who they are.
What they are and why they're
They're here, yeah.
And
that,
stories about.
yeah, this
my
was a
encounters.
great book. It was really a good book. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much. Yeah, this has been interesting. And yeah, we will, yep. If you have anything more to, you know, you want to ever get in touch with me, if something, we do something else
Okay,
on ghosts, or
sure.
maybe we go to a haunted house with you sometime.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe. I don't want to. I don't want to come home
For
with.
some.
Yeah, like I was telling you, there was a place in Nevada, and they had two ghosts, and they think one of them left because this one ghost, people were in the car and they could smell the roses, and they called this ghost Rosie.
Yeah.
So I think the ghost went with them. I don't want a ghost going home
Oh
with
yeah,
me.
they followed me several times.
Oh, they have?
Yeah.
Tell me about that before we go. That's interesting.
Well, this was, there were several from the Shanghai tunnels in Portland, which is one of the 10 most haunted places in the country.
Oh, geez.
And then there was one from a movie theater that followed me home that I'm aware of. And the movie theater one, if you go to my website, there should be a YouTube up that shows me going to this theater and talking to the ghost, and the ghost talking back to us, and it's kind
How
of
does the ghost
nice.
talk to you?
Just through the tape recorder.
Oh, that's right, tape recorder, right.
We later heard the.
Yeah.
But he does speak on my website because I added a clip too, because I felt a ghost in a movie theater. I asked the theater people if I could clear them. And then I had people come in and do their investigations. That happens a bit. I go into a house and I call the ghost hunting groups and I say, I think you should check out this place. And that's what happened here. The staff wanted to be involved, so they were involved with us looking for it and trying to get evidence of it. And we found evidence because we've got the tape recording. So I said, let me clear him. That was the first one that I ever cleared. And I really wanted to do that for him. And
How do you clear? You say, ghost,
he's a lovely
gotta
man.
go?
Ghost, go, shoo, shoo, ghost. It's the 4-step process that I
Okay.
use. With the key feature, in my opinion, is waking up their consciousness. Talking to them about it and waking up their consciousness so they know there's a segue and there's people there, there's beings there to help them. And then I pass the baton over to that side and I'm done with my work. But then I do a closing ceremony as well, though. So it's too complicated to go into.
Right, that's okay.
My next book will talk about that.
Okay, next book, and then we'll have you back.
But the people were so comfortable with him after I told them this is a very nice man. He died in 1940. He spent hanging out here for decades. He overdosed, and he wants to perform in this. He was all about vaudeville, and that was, I guess, was supposed to be a vaudeville theater in the 40s or whatever. So he stuck around. And so they said, after hearing this from me, they're like, "Oh, we don't want to clear him. We're comfortable with him. He doesn't scare us anymore." And I'm like, you know, this was supposed to be my first one that I was going to help.
And that's not fair to the ghost.
No. And so the beautiful thing that they did, the manager sat down with a tape recorder, and this ghost's name was Alfred. And she said, I don't remember if she said his name on the tape, but she said, "Alfred, what do you think about me coming back there tonight?" And he says, "Good." And then they let me clear him.
Why?
Because he said it was okay.
Oh, okay. He said it was. How does a tape recorder pick up a ghost's voice?
It does. More sensitive than our ears.
Wow, that's
And
amazing.
it's very clear. I think they have ways of rating these audios. I think it's 1 to 4. Whatever the highest rate was this
Wow.
one. He was very clear.
You know, I was going to say one thing before you go, that you mentioned the Shanghai tunnels.
Yeah.
And years ago in Portland, they used to Shanghai men and take them into the service, right? And so that was kind of an evil thing to do.
That was a horrible place, yes.
Yeah, so the Shanghai tunnels, that's really,
There's a lot of ghosts down there.
oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
Somebody should need to go, oh.
I wondered, there was a place in the Shanghai tunnels, I don't think it's open to the public anymore because the construction is really bad and they're very earthquake conscious. But they had a series of these old wicker chairs that have been there for decades. There was about 12 of them. And I took my little meter and I went around to each one, you know, flashing here and then not here and not here, flashing here. And I went around, there was about half of the chairs would flash, then I'd go back and then different chairs would flash. So
Flash
they were
means there was
moving
a ghost
around.
there.
Right. So they were like moving around just as I was sitting there, and quite evident.
Now, so there are people that go around and they, because I did another show on ghosts and hauntings, and I took a psychic and I took a paranormal investigator, and he had a machine that measured the energy. So there are people that do that.
Absolutely. There's a couple different electronics that kind of help us. What I was asked to do is just to kind of be the psychic, to say where is the ghost, and to try and get information from the ghost. You know, the other interesting thing too is there was a time I was called to a home where this mother had a 6-year-old child who was very psychic and was playing with a ghost.
Oh, really?
They were friends, and there
was it a child ghost that?
Yes.
Oh.
It was about a 7-year-old child ghost and a 6-year-old. And clearing that was, I knew that it would be very difficult to clear unless the 6-year-old would help me with it.
Yes, because the 6-year-old wanted to play with the ghost.
And the ghost wanted to play with the 6-year-old.
Yeah.
So I pulled a 6-year-old in when I did that clearing to talk with me, with the ghost, after I talked to him, the child, about how it would benefit his friend. And this boy was fantastic. He got it right away.
A little boy.
He got it right away. There's
that's so
someplace
nice.
else that this child could go, yes, okay, yes, he should go. Just, it was easy.
That was so nice.
Yeah,
That was
it was
great.
lovely.
Is there anything we want to end with?
I don't think so.
Okay, that was really interesting.
thank you
when you
very
write your
much.
new book, we'll have you back.
Okay, appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much.
Thank you.
Breannan.
Breannan.
Beautiful name. I got to practice it. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, folks, for watching another edition of Parapsychology Today. If you want to get a hold of Breannan, we'll have her information at the end of the show so you can get in touch with her. Also, we'd love to hear your comments, and if you'd like to be on the program or want to recommend somebody, look at the end of our show and we'll have our email and you can email us. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.